Welcome back to Ringer Tailgate. I'm your host, Tate Frazier. I am in an undisclosed location back in North Carolina, and we're having fun talking college football. It is quite the day, quite the storylines, and people are asking how much longer for Dabo Sweeney, and some people are even calling him Dabo. That's where we are right now in college football. We got Van Lathan, we got Joel Anderson. Happy to be here. And Joel, it's been a crazy day. We got a lot to get to. Van's got the baseball bat ready. This is a fun Saturday. Everybody doing all right?
Yeah, man, dog, it's a great day to be a Horn Frog, first of all.
Yeah, rivalry day.
We got it in on Duke Jr. and we never had to we never had to play them again. So we took the skillet
Nice.
home. And yeah, it's been a great day, man. My son came up, wanted to watch football with me for the first time as a 3-year-old. I was like, oh man, I'm like living a Hallmark moment here. So it's a
Yeah,
great,
we should
great,
make that
great day.
movie at some point. Yeah, the
Yeah, come
the day
on.
that I fell in love with college football, and it was a nice win for the Horned Frogs. I need Horned Frogs to be really good, by the way. So does Bill Belichick. So this is a good day for everybody that wears
Losing to
light blue.
UCF kind of invalidates that, but you can take what you can get, I'm sure.
It's a good day for QB2s. We'll talk about some of the QB2 play. Texas Tech was the star of that storyline. Van Lathan, we're going to do some reactions here. One big reaction, like from today, what we've seen so far. Obviously, some games are live right now. Apple Cup about to kick off, some other big games. But so far, your one big reaction from the day.
Clemson is really dead. Okay, and let me tell you what I mean.
Okay.
So there was a thought earlier this year after the Florida State game that Alabama was dead.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Wasn't just the result of the game itself.
Dabo Sweeney's alma mater, by the way. Even some
Right,
Alabama people might have thrown his name out as a good candidate for that job.
right. There was some thought that they were dead. But then you saw that maybe Alabama didn't put their best on the field. Maybe Florida State's a lot better than we thought, whatever, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We have had several different versions of Clemson failing now. Clemson failing in the big primetime game against LSU. Clemson failing in the game that they should win. They came back and win. Now Clemson failing in the bounce back game today against Syracuse. They just don't have it. There are enough glaring holes on their roster and really enough head scratching decisions made by their coaching staff to say that Clemson is this year's Florida State. And when I say not this year, I'm talking about last year's Florida State this year. It's going to be a rough season for Clemson, man.
Mm.
Yeah, there's been a lot of talk about Arch Manning, like not living up to expectations, the Heisman front runner and all that. Well, that is Clemson is the team version of the Arch disappointment because there were a lot of people that thought Clemson had the talent to be the national championship contender this year. Like they had all that talent coming back on defense. They got a guy who, again, allegedly is a first round draft pick prospect in Cade Klubnik. But I mean, I haven't seen it. Syracuse and we were in our little text group. Syracuse scored first, and I was like, man, Syracuse is dogging these boys. Like, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
they looked like the superior team. Like it wasn't like they got by on some bullshit or anything. Like they actually controlled the game from the opening snap. Like they were by far the better team. And I mean, if we're gonna hold experts accountable,
Oh, yeah.
huh?
Head. Yeah.
Head, damn
And
it. If we're gonna hold, we're gonna if we're gonna be serious
Mm-hmm.
about this head, then all the people that told us that Clemson was supposed to be really good, they have something to answer for because this is it's shocking how bad they are. Like it's one thing, they'll always do it. I'll lose to Georgia Tech one year and Syracuse another year. You're not supposed to lose Georgia Tech and Syracuse in the same year, let alone back to back.
And be down against Troy. I mean, right? There's
Yeah.
just been so many moments where you're just like, what is happening at Clemson? And right, we tabbed them. Everybody tabbed them right at the beginning of the season, the most talented team in the country.
Yep.
Three future top six picks. One of them was Cade Klubnik, maybe the number one pick. We joked heading into the show that we're going to have the Carson Beck Award for the stock free fall. Cade Klubnik, I
Man.
think you won it by week 4.
yeah,
Congratulations.
but it's definitely right. But I want to read his line. I want you guys to tell me what stands
Yeah.
out. It doesn't look as bad as what you guys would think it would.
Yeah.
I'm gonna read his line. 37 of 60, 61%, 363 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. That's
Yeah.
for the game that was just played. What does that line tell you guys?
Well, for me, that they don't think they can run the ball effectively. I wouldn't. Why would you have K Public drop back 60 times? I mean, again, they've been behind all day, but 60 times?
Yeah, 60 times. 60 times he threw the ball. The the reality is their lack of a running game. The team isn't not playing well. The team isn't the team is fundamentally flawed. They're fundamentally flawed. They have a defense that gets pushed around, that is supposed to set a new line of scrimmage with the talent that they have on the defensive line. That does not happen. Syracuse didn't have any problem today protecting or getting what they needed to have a productive offense. Then they cannot run the ball. They can't run the ball. They're a one-dimensional team, and because of that, it makes everything that they do on offense very easy to coach against. The team at its base, fundamentally, it's not an emotional thing. It's not a Dabo stuck in the past thing where he might be stuck in the past from roster construction as far as that standpoint is concerned. But it's just not a well put together football team. They have too many big holes.
I think they read too much of the press clippings also. I mean, I think they bought and sort of drank the Kool-Aid that everybody was selling about this team and said, hey, Cade's so good and Cade's so that. But Cade works when the defense works. I think that's a great point, fan. When the defense is setting the game, they're able to control time of possession. That's how they wear you down. That's how they win. When you're chasing, it's just not the same Clemson that we've seen under Dabo. And also, we had that moment on the sideline where they cut to Dabo. Syracuse comes back down and scores again after it felt like Clemson got back in the game, got a touchdown, had settled in a little bit. Oh, here they come. They're going to get it together. And Syracuse scores another touchdown. They cut the Dabo, and he just gives the unbelievable. Like, he even seems shocked about what's happening right now.
He looked morose on the sideline this evening. Like, I thought he was gonna cry. Like I'm not just joking. Like, he looked like he was biting his lip. Like he had lost something really important to him. I mean, and he did. I mean, because you can't really pop your shit. Clemson. If Clemson is tired of winning, I'll go somewhere else. You can't pop your shit and then go out there and lose like that, right?
That was the quote. He said he was 55 years old. He had plenty of more football ahead of him. I mean, it was a very grandstanding quote, right, Van? Like, that kind of felt like a message, and then this is the backup to that message. Not very good.
Well, it actually seemed like he was daring them to fire him. So the whole nation, the whole college football culture is talking about whether or not this is the end of Dabo Swinney at Clemson. We're discussing this. When you think about 5 or 6 years ago, what the peak blue blood champagne and chandelier programs in college football were Alabama and Clemson. Those were the two that you could count on being in the playoffs and making a run. Of course, Ohio State's always there as well, right? But Clemson and Alabama were going back and forth for the elite recruiting classes, the big games, all of that stuff. Dabo, looking at the mortality of his team's classic run in its face, and he raged against the dying of the light. He said, fire me. I'll go build what we've had somewhere else, right? I'll go do it somewhere else. Then they got on the field, and he reminded people that it is, in fact, over, or at least it seems that way, because I want you guys to remember a couple other things. They're doing this with a highly touted quarterback. It's not like Clemson went out and couldn't get the big QB to come sign with them, or couldn't get the big DN or the big D tackle. Those guys are on the team. They have a lot of those players. They just don't have enough of those players at really specific and key spots for them not to go out there and not look like they know how to play.
And that's the issue right now for everybody that's kind of in that fan base, because we all remember Clemson before Dabo, and that's why the threat kind of holds some weight. When he kind of does that grandstanding, everyone's like, he's not wrong. I mean, he took over as an interim. They were in a really downward spot. I mean, Saban goes back to Alabama around the same time. Funny enough, they were on a similar kind of kindred connection there. But it is strange because it does seem like he's breaking, right, Joel?
Yeah, man. I mean, I said my joke was that he did the Nolan Richardson.
Yeah.
If you want to fire me, go ahead and do it. And it's like, hey, man, they might
fire you. You've warned plenty of coaches. You told Deshaun Foster the week before.
Right. And I don't, but the thing is, and I don't want to blow my counter of the day or whatever, but I think you, Dabo has earned the right to have a bad season.
Yeah, he's not gonna get fired.
He's
They
not gonna
shouldn't
get
fire
fired.
Dabo.
Yeah. He like, I mean, people can be mad at him or whatever, but like it used to be, like Joe Paterno before he got fired, he had like a 4-7 year or whatever. Like that just kind of was accepted. And I'm not saying that Clemson can't do better, that Dabo is near the end of his career, but that, it just seems like give him another couple years and say, look, but under no, under these sort of circumstances, you got to embrace NIL. You got to stop talking about it in this way in public or whatever. Like make him, get up to date, because it reminds me of two guys, Gary Patterson at TCU, when it got near the end for him. And it was just like, oh man, the game has just passed you by. Like you're the best coach in program history, but we're going to have to move forward without you. And I mean, another guy that we'll probably talk about later, Mike Gundy at Oklahoma State. It's like, oh, okay, the game has passed you by, bro. And like you're gonna either have to get with it or we're gonna have to move on without you.
Yeah,
you know what the interesting thing to me, and not to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
The interesting thing to me is whether or not Dabo feels like he's a Clemson lifer, because
he's a Bama boy. He's got too much Bama in him.
I know, but you have to think of it like this. It's like, if Dabo thinks that he is going to be at Clemson, he said it in the press conference, I'm only 55 years old. That's super young in coaching, right? But there's nothing to say that Dabo doesn't do the Urban Meyer thing, where it gets too hot for him at one place, or he loses the quarterback that he's connected to in a soulful and very deep way. He leaves there, takes a couple of years off, 1 year off, or doesn't take any years off. And next thing you know, he's at another program that is in need of an elite coach, right? If he is going to do the thing that Joel's talking about, some of the people that Joel's talking about, some of the people you named, Bowden, Paterno, all of these guys that are at a place for all of those times, they are normally a part of the college football upper echelon, but there are those years where they don't achieve. If he's going to stick it out, then he's going to have to deal with the pressure of everybody looking at Clemson in a completely different way than they did in the very recent future. If he can handle that, then he's there for a while. But if what's wrong with Dabo? What's wrong with Clemson? What's wrong with Clemson? If Clemson succumbs to some of these other teams and their ascension, I watched Texas Tech today, and we talked about it. They look like a real college football contender. They do. They do. And there are not enough players and not enough spots and not enough slots to go around. So the question is not whether or not, to me, Clemson will fire Dabo. The question to me is whether or not Dabo will fire Clemson and move on to greener pastures.
Well, let me ask you all a question then. If your schools, if Brian Kelly, they get tired of Brian Kelly, or inevitably when Bill Belichick, it's time for him to move, and they were like, all right, we're gonna bring in Dabo Swinney. Would you be excited about Dabo Swinney as your new head coach?
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. No.
Yeah.
So I would be excited that a coach that's won that much, because Dabo Swinney's done things that Brian Kelly's never done. Right. That a coach that's won that much was in the building. I wouldn't be excited that he has a sort of an archaic view of how to be successful in college football in terms of, what you have to do today.
I feel like a job that he would crush, and it's a little bit off the beaten path, but if he went to Liberty, man, he would crush. He would win so many football games.
The moment you said that, I was like, oh yeah, that is a great fit.
like if late stage Dabo, that's kind of feels like where he ends up.
That's a good one. That's a
late stage Dabo. But right now, Dabo's in the thick of things. And the good news for Clemson fans, you got basketball. Brad Brownell, he's got a good program running there and making some runs in the tournament. Man, what do you got?
Okay, so there was obviously, and I haven't been paying attention to, climate change is affecting college football, by the way. How many weather delays have we had
everywhere
this week and last week as well? So it looks like this Notre Dame game is still not at the half because of the delay.
Yeah, Purdue game, right?
That score, I thought this was in the second half. Oh shit.
Well, I could be wrong. I'm looking at what's down here at the bottom. It says it looks like it's going in halftime. Right.
You're right.
Yeah, I've been watching the game. The score is 35-23. I have observations. One observation is, whereas if you were watching this game from the Notre Dame perspective, you have to be pretty excited that they're running the ball the way that they are, right? That Jeremiah Love, the backfield, all of that stuff that they're running the ball the way that they are. However, they've given up 23 points to Purdue at home in the first half. The problems with Notre Dame's defense continue to persist. And I bet you that the Notre Dame post shows that I watch, Irish Breakdown, and all of these different, I bet they're going to be unhappy with what they're seeing on the field right now. I bet they are, man.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, we're in a situation where they have to win a game. I mean, 0-2. We mentioned on the last show how many times that's happened in the history of this program. But waiting for a weather delay as you're waiting to kind of decide if you have a real team or not, I feel like the angst that's involved in that's pretty much nightmare scenario for every fan base, especially for the Irish right now, right, Joel?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't think I've ever been in a situation where I was in a game where there was a delay, but I can just imagine because yeah, I mean, the way you prep, you spend all week and then you have that whole morning, you're getting ready, you're going through your paces, going through walkthroughs, eating at a specific time, and then all of a sudden you just have to stop. You've built up, you finally got over the nerves of the game, you broke in a sweat, you're just in the flow of the game, and now we got to stop and basically start all over again. And it's it's a testament to those kids that they can go back out there and pick it up. I mean, they got no choice, but still, it's like something that people don't give them enough credit about.
They're getting paid.
Yeah,
man, get your ass out on the field and play. It ain't 1997 where you gotta you in the Warby Parker commercial. I don't want to hear it. Get out there and make a play. God damn it.
DJ Lagway's got a Chipotle bowl. You know what I mean?
Man. Go it's different. The college athletes and we got to stay up and we got to study and go to.
They do. I mean, they do have to study.
They do. They got to study they tax returns. And they gotta study these zeros. Get
financial management. Yeah,
like get on the goddamn field.
All right, I love it. One big reaction, Joel. Tell us what you got. What did you see today that's got you winded up?
So I feel like Maryland is doing this thing again, where they do Maryland. I'm a Marylander. I live in Maryland now. That's the home too. That's the whole
man. This man's been everywhere.
Because yeah, man. Yeah,
Snowfall Joel.
Yeah,
is what we call it. Snowfall Anderson.
Stop it. No, but because everybody wants to focus on Wisconsin, there's gonna be time for that. Because speaking of over, it kind of feels like
pour one out for Luke Fickell. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And I think the buyout there is $30 million. And it's a question of not. It's a Big Ten school, but does Wisconsin want to spend $30 million to get rid of Luke Fickell, right? That's a real question. But so Maryland does this thing every year in the last few years. They were 3-1 last year. They started out 5-0 in 2023. They started out 3-0 in 2022, 4-0 in 2021, and right now they're 4-0. They just won at Wisconsin today at Camp Randall, 27-10, and I'm like, are y'all real? You know what I mean? Is this an Indiana situation? Is this a Illinois situation where they're going to be sort of on the outside? Because the thing is that Maryland, there's really not an excuse. Like they have they don't have a tradition in the way that a lot of other schools do. Because kids here, they leave, they go to Penn State, they go to wherever. Notre Dame, they don't stay here and they leave the area. But Maryland has what they need. Like they've got money. There's industry here. There's a lot of talent nearby. And right now, Michael Locksley has a freshman QB, the dude's 6'5", 230 pounds, Malik Washington. He's not on the level of Bryce Underwood or JKS out of Cal, but he's good. He's got a lot of potential. 265. What happened?
The Oklahoma defensive line is just destroying Auburn. Safety in the game. It's over. Go ahead, Joel. I'm sorry.
They got a safety? Oh shit.
Yeah, okay, it's 24 now. They are just destroying. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Joe.
Oh man, you ahead of me. But anyway, okay, yeah. But anyway, Malik, 6 touchdowns, 1 interception. That interception came today. 1 sack. He's only taken 1 sack all year. That's amazing for a freshman. That's usually a thing. Freshmen have trouble reading defenses, getting rid of the ball. So I don't know, man. I just, I kind of would like for Maryland to be good. And Locksley last year, they went 4-8. and he blamed everything on NIL, and he was like, man, NIL got into our locker room, and there was dissension and everything. But it looks like he's turned it around, and man, I like college football. I would like to be able to go to a game, right down the street to see a good team. So, man, it looks like Maryland might be doing that thing, but maybe it's for real this time.
Yeah, it feels like you answered your own question there when you were saying, like, is Maryland doing the Maryland thing? I think Maryland definitely is doing the Maryland thing, and I don't think that we're going to see signs of life when it gets later in the season. But I do have hope because they have a quarterback. It feels like that's always been the thing with Maryland. It's like, is this the guy? Do we finally have a guy? They tried the whole, to his brother experience. I mean,
I remember him.
through.
Yeah.
Right.
I remember him.
They had to pay to keep him. People tried to poach him. But look, here's the thing about Loxley. The preseason win total was set at 4.5. Like that was the line for Maryland. They're already at 4 wins, man. So if you went on over on Maryland, good time for you. Get some money from FanDuel.
I'm gonna be shout out to FanDuel. I'm gonna be real with y'all, man. If y'all think we gonna break this show talking about Maryland football, I just want to let y'all know something, okay?
Oh man, look at this. That's a Big Ten team.
Joel's for the little guys. I like it. Joel's been everywhere.
This is the thing that you guys don't understand about Joel. Joel's been fighting for the little guy for a very long time, man. But Joel, I gotta pull you back. I gotta rein you.
Too many little guys.
Joel, I'm gonna push Maryland right out of your brain and push Ohio State, Michigan, Auburn. I'll even let you get crazy.
Florida State.
Tennessee. I'll let you get crazy. Joel, I'll let you get nuts.
Is this gonna be worse when I tell you what happened? Because Tate took Texas Tech. You know what I'm saying? He's got something coming up on Texas Tech. And so I was like, well, damn, man, I was going to talk about Texas Tech, which probably ain't much better, I guess. But then I was like, well, man, let me search around because I don't want to steal something from another segment. So I ended up on Maryland football. Maryland, you guys got to show some respect for Maryland football.
We got to pay our respects to Maryland football. Shout out to the Maryland flag.
Dominique Foxworth, Vernon Davis.
Yeah, they've had some good players. My favorite moment from Maryland football, 2003, they played and the Terrapin and the Ram mascot fought each other during it was a melee during the game. You know what I mean? That was real. That Terrapin.
That's a nice
messing around. Yeah. So shout out to Maryland football.
I mean,
Van,
LSU,
you're right.
So dismissive, man.
Yeah, Van, you're right, though. We got to talk about a team that I think will capture America's hearts. Texas Tech, they did it the right way. They went in the portal and paid everybody. That's what you're supposed to do now. That's the right way now. So Texas Tech did it the right way. They won a big game. Utah was the flavor of the day. Everybody was all in on the Utes. Everybody on this show, we have talked about how much we like Utah. This was the first real test. And then the funniest part, my big reaction, QB2, Will Hammond. Obviously, Morton gets hurt. That was a big storyline. He goes out. Was it a dirty hit? I'm not here to litigate that. I'm here to tell you this. It's good when you have two quarterbacks. Especially when the backup quarterback is actually maybe better than the starter.
Yeah, I think
he looked like it today. So Will Hammond, big winner.
Oh, let me give you one more big reaction to see if this meets Van's standard right here.
Here we go.
Devin Dampier, I apologize for saying that he was really good earlier in the year because I don't know what happened. Yeah. Oh, wait, what happened?
I said you're out. I said you're out on Dampier.
I'm out on Devin.
That's what we're asking. What happened?
I thought somebody got knocked out. I was like, okay, my bad.
You were asking you.
It's a touchdown. Yeah. No, man. I mean, I didn't know he couldn't pass like that. You know what I mean? Like I saw him against Washington State last year, and I was like, man, that dude's nice. He got some athleticism. But I guess when I'm looking back, if I think back in my head, I'm like, oh man, I never really saw if he could complete a 10-yard out. You know what I mean? And so today we found out that that is his limitation. That's how he ended up in New Mexico and why he's playing. Utah's not a bad program, but come on.
Texas Tech played solidly today. The backup quarterback came in. They started handing the ball off. I'm like, okay, well, what's going to happen if their starter can't go? Then he starts dealing, got in a rhythm, started finding guys, started making some throws that were in tighter windows. Then the confidence, the playbook opened up, the confidence that they had in him grew. It was interesting to see, but it was also interesting to see just what a solid team they are. Like solid across the board. You didn't see any huge coverage busts. You didn't see any miscommunications along the offensive line. You didn't see a quarterback that seemed like he was overwhelmed with the moment, stepping in and running the offense. Something else that I saw, The moment that he stepped in, there was a close-up shot on the broadcast, and the close-up shot was of the offensive line reacting to him, and they were pounding him. They were smacking him.
Chill.
Pause. Smacking him in the chest, hitting him on the helmet. I could tell they believed in him, and they were trying to coach him up on the field to get him ready to come in this game and be successful. There was snap. There was energy. There was, all right, let's go. There wasn't what you see sometimes when your starter goes out, which was the team confused about how they're going to win the game or what it is they're supposed to do. Like, oh my God, we don't have our fucking guy, right? Like when Rhaegar Targaryen was killed at the Trident by Robert Baratheon, and everybody's like, how are we going to win this battle if we don't have the Crown Prince, Prince Rhaegar, right? If we don't have him, what are we going to do? That's not
what is that? What's that? What show is that? What show is that? What piece of culture is that? What is that? A movie or a show?
Robert Baratheon, you're not familiar with Robert? Oh, Robert.
He's for the little guys. He's for the little guys. These are big guys.
Bobby B. That's Game of Thrones, baby. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
But what I just told you, that didn't even happen in the Game of Thrones show. That's pre-Game of Thrones show lore.
Oh,
right?
Okay.
That's Prince Rhaegar Targaryen, right? And then
you gotta watch House of the Dragon to get some of that stuff.
Even that's after House of the Dragon. This has never been covered, really. Okay. But
and Maryland football, the problem. Okay.
How many? Let me ask you a question. What do you think has more viewers? Maryland football or Game of Thrones lore YouTube videos?
Big Ten. I mean, it's a Big Ten program, man. They get a nice little set. So
you're right. But yeah, so Texas Tech looked pretty solid. And it looked like, to be honest with you, whether or not their starter comes back, or whether or not they have to go with him and the backup that came in, it looks like they're ready to go and compete and be a real player in the conference. And to be honest with you, maybe in the playoff.
I would say they've already clinched their spot in the Big 12 championship game, man.
Oh wow.
They don't. They got a very manageable schedule. They're off next week, which is great. They're at Houston. They can beat them. But here's the thing: they're going to be favored in every game they play the rest of the year. They're at Kansas. They go to Arizona State. They got Oklahoma State. Well, I mean, that's an off week right there. At K-State, they're not good. BYU, UCF, who knows? And then they close at West Virginia. So they have, they miss, other potential conference front runner, undefeated TCU. So they should be unless something really bad happens or they fall apart or whatever. They really should have clinched their spot in the Big 12 championship game right now.
What about TCU? Will they be there?
Man, I don't know, man, but I was telling somebody.
I think TCU looks good. I think they look solid.
This is the biggest win for Sonny Dykes since that 2022 national semifinal against Michigan. It's the first, because the thing is with Sonny Dykes is that beating SMU shows some sort of proof of concept, because you can't let SMU, a program you left, come to your house, the final game of this rivalry for the immediate future, and beat you. Right? Because then it's like, oh, okay, well, you left, SMU got better. You came over here, we got worse. Right? You had to win that game. There are a lot of people that had a lot of doubts about him, me namely, but it's still, we were looking for some sort of clue that this program is back on the rise and that you've harnessed the talent. You're not going to make all the mistakes, the penalties, the turnovers that you've had in recent years. And they looked really good today. And TCU won. We didn't even have Kavorian Barnes, man, the top runner on the team. So yeah, man, I don't want to say that they should, because the Big 12 is funny like that. But you got to think that they look so far like one of the three best teams in the league. It's Iowa State, Texas Tech, and TCU, I would say.
I think the answer now is not Kansas State, right? If anybody asks you about who's going to win the Big 12, you're going to say probably not Kansas State. And that was the favorite at one point, which is, Fran Brown said that today. He said Vegas doesn't know shit, basically. He didn't say that, in those words, Van.
Been the wildest, wackiest college football season in terms of what we thought was going to happen in a long time. I
hold experts accountable, damn it.
Hold experts accountable, damn it. I peeked around at some of the other teams that were in games that were going to be less competitive. The Civil War up there, Oregon and Oregon State, Florida State, Kent State, games like that, just to see how these teams looked. And, a lot of them, even playing against lesser competition, You can tell that they're just moving and operating in a way that some of them, not so much Oregon, but Florida State for sure, in a way that people did not think they were going to be operating. I give Gus Malzahn a tremendous amount of credit, just for the way that he has them playing and moving like a well-oiled machine on offense. But other than that, it was proven games all over the place. What you have? You had Auburn and Oklahoma, and then of course you had Michigan and Nebraska, just to kind of see which ones of these teams were real when they matched up against similarly talented rosters.
And we also had rivalry games, right? You mentioned SMU, TCU. We got the Apple Cup is about to kick off. I think it just did kick off. Oregon State, as you mentioned as well. Duke, NC State playing right now. Duke putting a beating on NC State, who a lot of people thought, was a sleeper team, should have been in the top 25. So nice win for the Blue Devils. I'm here in Durham right now, so I had a lot of Duke people asking me about Duke football. Do you watch Duke football? Are you keeping up with Duke football? They lost to Tulane. Yeah, I'm keeping up.
Launching the show. Let's talk Duke football.
Duke was good, man. Duke was good last year. Didn't they win 9
Skip
games?
over Auburn, Oklahoma.
I'm just starting rivalry games in general. Shout out to the Apple Cup. Shout out to the Cougs out there and the Huskies. I love it. I love that we're hitting all these topics. That's what people want to hear. Your biggest thing, man. Your biggest thing. What do you have today?
My biggest thing is that what I am seeing right now in college football, the first team that is going to be able to establish that they can play defense on an elite level, down in and down out, that is going to be your national champion or your favorite. This is going to be a defensive year. I'm seeing a lot of the offenses struggle. I'm seeing a lot of the players, maybe they don't have enough snaps, maybe the offensive lines, maybe the talent has been diluted such that on offense, you just don't have the overwhelming. Think about LSU 2019. You had Burrow, Chase, Jefferson, Marshall, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, everywhere. Thaddeus Moss, everywhere. You had somebody that you could argue was top 15, top 10 at their position. It's just I'm not seeing that as much on offense anymore. And it's going to be, in my opinion, a year where the defenses are really going to have an advantage. I saw that. I watched the Michigan-Nebraska game, and Bryce Underwood played well enough in that game to keep the chains moving, made some big plays, was really able to keep the Nebraska defense off balance with the amount of things that he can do, with his ability to run, his ability to throw, all of that stuff, right? But didn't have an overwhelming game. Who was overwhelming in the game was the Michigan defensive line. And they were able to set the tone for the entire contest to where you knew there was going to be a new line of scrimmage. The quarterback, Dylan Raiola, was going to be under duress. And I think that's going to be the thing that wins this year. I think we're looking at a season where defense, aggressive defense, blitzing defense, making plays on defense, and even scoring on defense is going to be the difference in a lot of these games.
Yeah, I mean,
go ahead, Joel.
No, go ahead. Take on. You got it.
I was just going to say contender, pretender, just Michigan, talking about them. This was a nice win. Obviously, they don't have their head coach. The interim coach, Biff Poggi, is quite the character. No sleeves today, but looking strong. A nice win for the freshmen on the road in Nebraska. This was kind of a game for them to send a message. So do we believe that Michigan can actually do something in the Big Ten, Joel?
Absolutely. They're pretty.
We do?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no,
All
man.
right.
I mean, they're really solid.
Hey, man, we're talking Michigan football.
Yeah,
people are perking up.
Hey, there you go.
People are perking up.
Football. All right, let's see. We've talked to Duke. We've talked to Maryland.
Yeah. Now let's get to
SMU
Michigan.
And TCU.
Yeah,
let's get to
ACC,
Michigan football. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, I love this show.
I mean, we could talk North Texas too. They've gone 4-0, but nah.
Mean Green look good.
They did look good. They beat Army today. But yeah, no, man. I think they're really. I kind of got a feel that there's a real chance that they can be there. I mean, Bryce Underwood, it seems like, I'm not going to say he's getting better every week, but it just seems like there's nothing really phases him, right? Like he looks like he's steady no matter what situation he's in. And just think about the environments he's played in already. Yeah, Oklahoma and Nebraska. And that Nebraska crowd looked crazy today, man. Like it looked really good. I mean,
They wanted to win, man. They wanted to win
They wanted so
so badly.
I wanted for them.
I
I
felt
can't
bad
pull
for
for
him.
Nebraska.
I did, yeah, man. Because I mean, it was all set up for them to be here. Like there's some people that thought they would be an outside playoff contender.
The rule of three, right? Matt Rule,
3.
year 3. That was the whole sell.
That's right.
The time.
But and the thing is, it doesn't mean that Nebraska is bad. It just might mean that Michigan is better. That Justice Haynes is a really good running back that they've got. Wow. They've not had an explosive running back like that in a while. McCulley, the receiver from Indiana, he's athletic, a big target, and of course the defense is always going to be there. So yeah, man, I could see Michigan being there at the end of the year. I mean, I guess like again, it's the Ohio State, Penn State, Michigan, and Indiana, Illinois, whoever.
Yeah, Indiana, Illinois, yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. They're not 5 teams are not going to go from the Big Ten, but you got to think that they got to be among that 5 that you would expect to be in the running at the end.
Can I ask another hypothetical, Van, just for fun? If Michigan played Penn State right now, based on what we've seen, based on what the experience is for Underwood, would you take Michigan or Penn State in that game? That's sort of for me why I believe in Michigan.
There's just no way to know. I mean, honestly,
I would take Michigan. I really, based on what I've seen, it's okay.
Yeah, like based on what you've seen, the competition that they've played has been different. I talked about the defensive line. It wasn't just the defensive line. The offensive line was mauling as well, opening up holes for guys to run through.
Biff ball.
Michigan backs were hitting holes today. Oh, daddy. And getting into second or third gear.
Now that's what the people want. Right?
Getting into the second level of the defense and just turning on the Jets. They had, to me, what is recreatable week in and week out, that they're going to be in games. Like we've seen them lose. We've seen them, Oklahoma was a little too much for them, but they're going to be in games. Penn State has a more veteran quarterback. They have guys on the outside. They have an upgraded wide receiver core. You should look at the rosters and say that Penn State is a better collection of talent than Michigan is, but there would just be no way to know on the field what would happen. We haven't seen Penn State really tested yet.
I'm just saying, if I'm setting that line, if I'm Vegas, I know Fran Brown, like I said, they don't know anything, but if I set the line, I would say that Michigan might be favored, just based on what we've seen right now.
We're talking neutral site, right? It's a neutral site game?
Neutral site, not at Penn State.
Not at Penn State? Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, my thing is that
I just think, I don't know. Penn State is not, I just haven't seen anything, no signs of life. And I feel like Michigan's kind of gone through the fire a little bit. They've been able to win some big games, but I also still don't believe in Michigan, but I don't know. I like the D-line.
Michigan has the most potential to be good at the end of the year because they have the most, their ceiling is highest because they have a quarterback who's getting more experience, more snaps, seeing more defenses week to week to week. And so you got to think, hopefully he'll be a better quarterback by the end of November than he is right now, right? And so to me, that opens it up for them. And for Penn State, I've never seen Drew Aller have a good game against a good defense. Like that. So
you know what I'm saying.
So that would be my problem.
Yeah. What is going on with Michael Irvin, man? Michael Irvin is in the middle of a torrential downpour in Miami. He's standing next to the mascot, cranking something, just covered from head to toe in water, just going nuts.
I feel like he's the mascot of Miami, right? Like, if I think of Miami football, like I think of Michael Irvin. I don't really think of anyone else. Like, I don't think of, the big bird.
So Michael Irvin is, I always say, like, he has to be one of the most impressive professional athletes of all time because he was the alpha in the University of Miami locker room and in the Dallas Cowboys locker room. You don't get to just be that dude by being anybody, right? Like, you have to be a special kind of a guy. But he's a little too mixy to be this old. You know what I mean? Like I kind of felt like I hope he tucks it back in, man. I hope he's okay.
Tucks it back in?
Yeah, tucks it back in.
Be okay. He's too mixy to be this old. Like what so but Joe, think about HBCU culture. I think about that too, but then think about HBCU culture. Think about the people that go to the Southern games, like, and you see them for 10 straight years at Southern versus Jackson State. Jukebox class. You see them all the time, right? They got their stuff on, they yelling, they crazy, going.
Yeah.
They could be
college
if
football experience, right?
Right. If they could be on the sideline going crazy, they would be. Michael Irvin is just one of those college football fans, but they let him come down on the sideline.
He just
so
happened
it's
to
cool.
play. Yeah.
My thing is, I was impressed with this from a physical standpoint. Playmaker got to be what, in his mid-50s, early 60s?
I think it's like 57, 50 something.
He was
like
going
that.
nuts, man. Michael was out there cranking the thing, going crazy. I mean,
Oh.
like, he's fueled. He's like, he's lit.
I feel like I've seen him
walking up
shirtless recently. Haven't you seen him shirtless recently?
He's popping the top.
Like,
he's swinging the shirt.
Insane, man.
That's what
I looked over and I was actually taken aback by the fact that he was going that crazy and able to maintain that type of pace on whatever crank thing that was that he was cranking up right there in Miami.
He's in great shape, man. He's so either one or two things has happened. The Cowboys documentary on Netflix came out and he sort of had like a rebirth and people have been reintroduced to him. And I just feel like I've seen him more. Maybe his agent is like, hey man, we got to seize on this opportunity. You need to be out here right now. Put yourself where people are going to see you. But also the other thing is like, man, just from the hair to the kind of clothes, I don't know, man. And by hair, I meant like the dye. Like maybe Michael Irvin is not gone gray. I mean, maybe that's totally possible. I'm willing to be open to it.
Did you say the same thing about Coach K?
Like Nick Saban.
Are you picking on Michael Irvin?
Nick Saban, maybe Nick Saban is a person who he doesn't go gray. His hair is just, preternaturally brown. It just looks like that.
Yeah.
But I just kind of, I hope he's okay, man. It just seems...
I think he's more than okay. And I think there is a rule that I think, you talked about being the alpha of the locker room. I think the golden rule of becoming the alpha is if you go hard on the field or the court or whatever, you got to go hard off of it, That's
fair.
And Michael Irvin goes hard on both. And let me just say that translates. That translates. Even the people you don't think, they see it. So he's special.
Yeah.
When I see Michael Irvin, I'm just like, it's special talent right there.
Oh yeah, no, I mean he's one of a kind, man. He's a one of a kind person and football player. I will give him. He
told a story about stabbing someone with scissors in their neck, as if he was telling a story about going to the grocery store. You know what I mean? Like this is.
You guys, I want to let you guys know something. Today is a low key Jeremiah Love introduction to the Heisman situation.
There you go.
It's not an overwhelming game, but
Mm-hmm.
every time they are giving it to him, he is shot out of a cannon right now. He is at 18 for 146 and 2 touchdowns. We have a quarter and a half left to play. He's averaging 8 yards a carry. So,
and what are the haters saying? Like, why did you save him for the Purdue game? You know what I mean? Like that's.
I mean, why didn't you run the ball like this? Why didn't you have this type of dedication to the run against Miami or against Texas A&M? There are people who think that this was a coaching mistake, that Marcus Freeman and the rest of his staff were trying to get their young quarterback all greased up and show what they had, and they didn't lean on what it is that they should be doing. And even this is probably gonna piss a lot of people off that they're able to run this ball this easily, and they could have been doing this the whole year. Maybe they would have
he
lost.
was on a pitch count. I mean, from the jump. I mean, game one, it felt like he was on a pitch count. And
I felt like Jadarian Price. Like, well, I did was like, well, man, I was like, maybe they just really like Jadarian Price. So somebody wrote a great profile of Jeremiah Love that came out in the Athletic.
Right. They were just calling him an introvert, right?
Yeah, they were calling him kind of weird and stuff. Like, I just kind of thought I'd never seen quotes like that about a celebrity athlete. You know what I mean? It was just like, if I would be, I'd be like, Jeremiah Love would have to give permission to my mom or my dad to be like, well, Jeremiah's just going to do whatever he wants to do. And that's just the kind of person. It was just a real character study that was unusual. So it was a good story. Mm-hmm. Like, it stuck in my head. And I was like, well, maybe just he's going to outs here or something like that. But I mean, to Van's point, like, he looks really good today. But I would say against A&M, I think he had like 23 carries or something like that. I mean,
he did, but a lot of the stuff that was going on in the game.
I was more talking on the Miami game, I guess.
Yeah, the Miami game for sure.
A lot of the stuff that they did in the game, it was unconventional. It was like they didn't quite know how to use them. There was a lot of stuff direct snap to him.
Yeah,
they were doing that a lot. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that. It just seemed like the commitment to lining up and running the ball and establishing Jeremiah, it wasn't quite there. And this is me parroting what the fan base is saying. I am so stupid and such an idiot that after these games are over, I go and I look at all the major fan bases like Duke and Maryland,
I
and
know
I
you
watch
gotta read
their
those message boards.
North
I
Texas.
watch
You need to
those
see what they're
message
saying in
boards.
North Texas right now.
You gotta
man.
see those message boards, dude.
Yeah.
Understand
I
the
watch
fandom.
all of their post game shows and all of that stuff like that. But yeah, so it looks like maybe they've said, "Oh fuck it, we're giving the ball to our guy to number 4, and we're gonna see how far we can get by putting the ball in his hands."
Well, they have to win every game down the stretch to even be in the conversation, and you kind of have to blow out Purdue. So it looks like they're in the process of doing that right now. Florida
Good
and
run.
Miami just started, so there
Oh,
you
did
go.
okay,
That's
all right.
that's a
Down to
game
my
that's on
box.
the board. Illinois, Indiana also about to kick off. Apple Cup has just kicked off.
If you guys don't mind, I'm going to take Purdue and Notre Dame out of my multi-view to get in that
Oh
Illinois
wow!
Indiana
So
game.
man, there
Then.
you go. Your boy doesn't want to talk about Notre Dame.
Yeah, that's
Said
it.
it.
He
Done
doesn't
with
want to
that
talk
game.
about the Irish.
Illinois and Indiana. That's the that's
He
the
was
ranked.
down to talk about Purdue and how
So-
they've expanded their football, program and facilities, but he's out on Notre Dame.
Yeah, I don't want to. I don't see Notre Dame right now.
Touchdown Notre
Okay.
Dame. It's
Jadarian.
it's officially a goddamn bludgeoning
Yeah.
there.
Half a
An
hundred.
an Irish bludgeoning there in South Bend. So, and they're running the ball like crazy. They're giving it to Price. They're giving it to Love. They're keeping it on the ground, and they're controlling the line of scrimmage, controlling the game.
And this is what you have to do if you're Notre Dame the rest of the way. You have to win style points because the committee is watching and they want to see, oh, Notre Dame is actually really that good. And they kind of stumbled out of the gate and they lost a close game and had a tough call that was a holding call that would have been, basically, pointed out if we had some sort of review process there at the end. But again, those are a whole lot of ifs, ands, and buts, and they got to win football games by a lot. So the Irish, kudos to them. Florida, Miami. Are we intrigued by this game? Are we thinking about it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
my
okay.
God.
All right.
Absolutely. Oh.
This is the
I mean,
game of the day.
Some
to me.
people are.
I mean, yeah,
I
I wish they had this earlier because I wish I had more time to watch this game, man.
Yeah, for me, this is the game of the day. It's the game of the day. They're bigger games, and they're games that are more important for college football. We talked about, big SEC implications in Auburn and Oklahoma. Michigan, Nebraska, huge for Matt Rule, huge for the conference. As much as I joke, SMU, TCU, gigantic for the Big 12. However, from a culture standpoint, college football culture, the biggest game of the day might have been Miami, Florida. Huge implications here. The coaching carousel, and a big question that we ask every year, is the U back? They have to answer that question on the field every single quarter, every single snap. So, it's another chance for them to say, yeah, we're back by beating up on a Florida team that nobody even thinks is good. But still, they need to win the game. People don't quite believe yet.
Yeah.
It's kind of the perfect spot for Florida too. Like you're playing the best team in the ACC. Some would argue the best team in the country, and your season has gone completely sideways. But if you win this game, the perception completely, shifts back in your direction, and that's what they did last year. So this is a great opportunity, and also a weather game. It's raining. It's going to get a little bit messy.
I mean,
Joel, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, this is Florida's first of 3 games against top 10 teams. So they got 3 straight top 10 teams. They take a week off. I mean, they take a week off. They play Mississippi State, and then they play Georgia. So, I mean, I guess it could go one of 2 ways. One, we could learn that those boys are still going to play for Billy Napier like they showed last year, right? And maybe whatever is ailing DJ Lagway, they'll be able to get it on track. Or they're going to lose in embarrassing fashion or lose enough that we're going to have another opening in college football pretty soon. Because, I mean, Florida needs to be able to make a decision on this fairly soon, right? Like, you don't want to be the last to market. Like, you want to be able to have some time to look over options. And, and once Florida comes open, I mean, just think about all the other coaches. Like, it starts the dominoes, right? Is it Lane Kiffin? Is it, John Summerall? Is it whoever, right? So, yeah.
Well, they played today, and Lane Kiffin and his team, Ole Miss, destroyed, the Tulane team that we fell in love with, that the world was kind of falling in love with. So, Lane Kiffin, if there was a Florida, AD team or whatever watching that game, he gets a check on the board. You know, they look like the better football team today. But again, he's also at Ole Miss in the SEC with the with the ranked team. So
yeah. I
as
mean,
expected.
and last year, I mean, last year, I mean, I'm kind of, I guess, I mean, I think Lane Kiffin should be happy at Ole Miss. Like, it's far from be it for me to tell people
I
about
think
like
he
what they should do
is.
with their life.
I think he's happy there too.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like, 'cause I don't think he should go anywhere else. Like, I think they'll accept him there. He's winning at exactly the right level. That last year was really disappointing for Ole Miss. Like, they didn't even make the playoffs, and they had geared up, done the NIL thing. The only other team you heard that spent more money than Ole Miss last year was Ohio State, right? But they fell short, and so and it was okay. Like, they ran him back. It didn't seem like Ole Miss is a place that's going to run Lane Kiffin off, and I felt like. You go to Florida, man, you on the clock, brother. Like they're not gonna put up with that shit for as you see 3 or 4 years. Dan Mullen was pretty good. So I don't know, man. Lane Kiffin, man, you sometimes it's just nice to stay where you at.
Well, I mean, that's like with anything in life, right? That's all about how good you think you are.
Yep.
If Lane Kiffin thinks that he is a coach that is a 9-3 guy that could catch a team and get in the playoff and win a national championship, maybe. Then you stay at a place like Ole Miss, where the tradition of Ole Miss, they care about their football, but the tradition of Ole Miss and the resources around there are such that their expectations aren't sky high. Florida has had 2 coaches to change their expectations. And they have a commitment to facilities and to other things involved in the football program that might not exist in Oxford. So if you think that you are the best, this is the question with everyone, right? Terrence Crawford last Saturday, as we were sitting, was taking a chance that people thought was stupid. He was moving up 2 weight classes, really 3 weight classes. He only had 1 fight at 154 to fight an all-time graded at 168. And people were like, why would you do that? Well, money is one reason, which would be another thing for Lane Kiffin. Another reason is, how good do I think I am? And if Lane Kiffin thinks that if given the right amount of resources, that he would be a coach on par with Dabo or Nick or Urban Meyer or whomever else you want to throw out there, Kirby Smart, then he would make the move. But if he is comfortable and living with lowered expectations, then he would stay at Ole Miss, because anything they're going to give him is gravy. I'm not saying that Ole Miss doesn't want to win. Ole Miss wants to win. Ole Miss has put competitive teams on the field. They do. But Ole Miss wants to win. Florida expects to win.
Yeah.
And it's going to be more money, more resources, more scrutiny, all of that. But it just depends on how good you think you are.
So Kalen DeBoer, it's the Brian Kelly, right? It's like, hey, if I had what they had, you just imagine what I could do with that, right? And so, yeah, I mean, I can't imagine that Lane Kiffin thinks there are a lot of people just getting a sense for who he is and having followed him over the years. I don't think he probably thinks there's a lot of people that have a better football brain than him, right? So yeah, I could see him doing it, but I also think that Florida is just sort of, I don't think that job is as good as a lot of people think it is. So
and I also think Lane really likes Oxford, and I do think that Oxford, I mean,
he loves it.
Yeah. It's a great town. He stopped drinking. He's like, he's got his whole like, it's a new lane, right? It's like lane 2.0 or 3.0 or 4.0. I don't know what lane we're on, but he's a different version of like the Lane Kiffin that we knew, USC, the original version of Lane. So, I mean, it is fascinating to kind of see how this plays out. I think he likes people talking about him for this job. I think he likes that, Florida has to see him as the #1 candidate, and he probably has no intention of ever even entertaining the offer. But who knows? Like you said, money talks. So it's fascinating. Van, I flipped the coin. It came up Bellichick.
oof.
Oh, daddy. Did you see? So
is that a quote from Jordon? What does that mean?
Oh, wow. Okay.
So Bellichick, man. I've seen some of the pregame pictures going around.
Yeah, Bill Simmons is sending us pictures of Jordon and skin suit skirt or something. I don't even know.
Let me check my phone.
I don't know what it is.
Oh, yeah. I was building the same
Tate, let me ask you.
Do you have to win the games? Is the question.
Tate, let me ask you this. It's not about how we feel.
Right.
Okay. It's not about how we feel. It's really about how you feel.
Mm.
You are a North Carolina sports fan.
Look, we're all behind.
It's about how you feel. Do you feel that this is a real football experiment with the associate head coach, Bill Belichick, and the head coach, Jordon? Or do you feel like this is a weird Twilight Years, odd, identityless, old man in the sea, chasing the white whale, all out there? Is this some kind of weird social experiment, or does this have anything to do with football and sports? Does Bill Belichick give one shit about whether or not North Carolina wins or loses? Does Bill Belichick in any way, or is he just keeping busy while he has time away from his real goal, which is making that little thing happen?
Hey, it's nice to have an office. It's
That
nice
little
to have a
thing.
check. It's nice to have a chick. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're really looking at the stats right now for Bill Belichick, like it's up. Like Bill Belichick, yes,
He's
the
doing
football,
great.
he's doing great.
He's a
Like
great-
he's doing all right. So like in that sense, I have nothing but respect. And as a very, as someone who's watched a lot of Carolina football, we've talked about our favorite programs, Duke, Maryland. Now we'll get to Carolina. This is a program that like you would always say to yourself, even if the best coach ever took over this program, we would still be who we are, which is at best an 8 to 9 win football program. Even if Bill Belichick came down here and coached our football team, we would still be Carolina football. So if anything, this has been confirmation bias. You know what I mean? This is like we have watched this train go down this track so many times, and you're saying to yourself, we have the greatest coach ever, and he's still on that train. And that train keeps coming. And you know what I mean? And hey.
Okay.
And as long as the train is coming, everybody's happy.
So he got that blue pill. Blue pill Bill. Blue pill Bill.
He's choo-chooing. Choo-choo Justice.
choo-choo.
Shout out. You know what I mean? It's one of our greatest players.
I mean, my thing is, like, do you really think y'all gonna get the 8 wins, man? Well, I mean, y'all
No. Just as a cap. Like, even when we're like Lawrence Taylor, I mean, I guess he won like 11 games, but you know what I mean? Even when you had Julius Peppers, you're like, we're gonna win 8 games.
Look,
Willie Parker.
Like what Carolina
8 games.
And this Illinois Indiana matchup looks like it's going to be a great matchup right now. I got a good multi-view going on right here.
Yeah, the multi-view is so good. Shout out to YouTube TV.
What Carolina's going to have to do at some point. I mean, what have they gone? So they've gone Butch Davis, Mac Brown,
Larry Fedora.
Larry Fedora.
Butch Davis, Everett Withers, Larry Fedora.
Oh, Everett
Brown.
Withers.
But what they are going to have to go and get an actual young genius coach. They're going to have to make a risky hire or believe in someone and actually hire a program builder. You can't microwave.
Matt Campbell was the guy, right? So like they were all pushing for Matt Campbell, and then Bill Belichick, aka Michael Lombardi, calls and says, "Hey, we're available."
Right.
And the rest is history. But yeah, that's what they were going for, right? That's what in an idea, that's what they were going for.
Right. So you can't microwave it. You don't the infrastructure.
We're microwaving.
Well, I'm saying the infrastructure isn't there to microwave it, meaning bring in big time coaching hire, but not big time coaching hire. It's not like they got Kalen DeBoer to come there or Dabo Sweeney to come there. They got a big time coaching name and not a big time coach. And I know that sounds weird to say that Bill Belichick is not a big time coach.
It's a different sport too. You know what I mean? The NFL and college football are different. They're different sports.
Yeah, I don't know if his name
different sports.
I don't know if his name rings out in college football like it does among the NFL circles, right? Like so much of it is about, hey man, can you appeal to this 17-year-old from the suburbs of Atlanta? Right? Like, can you get in the house of that guy and convince him to come here? Now, I will say, literally, the top recruit in his most recent class is one of those guys, Travis.
I was going to say, at least the recruiting is, in the right direction.
It's not bad.
There's hope. Yeah.
Yeah, but Burgess also is out for the year with the knee injury, man. So that was just another bit of bad news for Bill. But yeah, I don't know, man. I think everybody kind of knew that there was going to be this wasn't going to go very long. He's only 73 years old. I really think I keep saying I think that this was a play to get Steve that head job, right?
No, that's not
I
happening.
I just because they thought that I'm going to go down to North Carolina and I'm going to use my big football brain and I'm gonna take over the world, and that's just not what happened. I mean, I think he overestimated, like, how good do you think you are? Well, I'm sure Bill Belichick thinks he's the greatest ever too, but you have to have respect for the college game, man. You might get your ass beat by Sonny Dykes.
And also a lot of this culture stuff, like it works and it sells on the front end, but like culture needs players at the
Right.
end of the day. You know what I mean? You can build this great winning culture and have the right ideas and have the right principles and the right type of people, but if they can't play and make plays, it is what it is. Like they don't have the players.
If I
Like,
came
it's
to
not
you
even
right now,
close.
if I came to you right now and said you could have Fran Brown, would you take him?
I'd take Dabo Sweeney.
You take Dabo Swinney over Fran?
After
Mm.
today, that would be a tough thing to say, but I mean, I'm just like, I wish they maybe waited a year, and when Dabo's like trying to get fired, you go give him 10 million a year.
Dabo's not coming to UNC, but
He said Carolina's in Chapel Hill, man. He knows.
yeah,
He knows what's up.
Dabo's not coming to UNC. But it's
Hey, they
and
told me Bill Belichick wasn't coming to UNC once
Hey,
upon a
fair
time,
enough,
man.
fair enough. But I'll tell you this though, I'm surprised at how quickly the infatuation with Bill Belichick at UNC has
Over.
disintegrated.
Over.
We talked about before the season at great length when we were putting this show together about how covering Dion and Bill Belichick was going to be a big part of what we did on Ringer Tailgate.
Right.
If I'm being honest with you,
It's a flop.
it's not, but with either guy right now. And, Dion has an actual real solidified football program. They're going through some transitions right now, but they've been able to build a culture and an identity there to a degree in his 3 years that he's been there. But like, we're not seeing the litany of Dion highlights. We're not seeing the Colorado's still rating well when they're on television, but we're not seeing a whole bunch of Belichick highlights. It's like when people watched the TCU game and they saw that the football was actually kind of a fraud, they changed the station on Bill Belichick a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I'm not saying, and that might be good for Carolina. It might be good that they get the opportunity to figure out their program and figure out what they want to do, not under the constant scrutiny of the national media, asking all kinds of questions. This is one of the first Jordon pictures with Bill Belichick that we've seen in a couple of weeks. And you got to wonder if they didn't do this on purpose to get people talking again. Get Pablo on it.
What did Dancing with the Stars know, right? Dancing with the Stars pulls the contract from Jordon. Did they go to practice? Did they see this team and they're like, she's going to be irrelevant by week 4?
I mean,
They got no DBs. You know what I mean? Like they must have known something. So shout out to, let's investigate that. The producers that know ball at Dancing with the Stars that were like, yeah, Belichick does not have a team. They will be irrelevant.
34-9 to UCF, man. They lost by 4 scores to UCF, man.
UCF was talking that talk too.
Yeah, man.
I mean, UCF knew. Look, she probably told them, I can dance, but I also have a football team to coach. So just to let you guys know, I have a program to run. So I can come out here and dance, but there are going to be some times where I'm going to have to look at some schematics. I'm going to have to deal with some NIL stuff. I'm going to have to deal with, some administrative stuff. I have a program to run. So don't think that I can be here doing the cha-cha and the walls this whole time. I have decisions to make. I'm a very important person in the state of North Carolina.
She's going to be like the Colts owner, right? With the headset on, listening to all the communications.
That's my favorite motherfucker in the world.
Yeah,
what are y'all doing?
She's badass.
Yeah, she want to shit. Yeah,
I'm telling you guys right now, everybody's pissed off. It's not even going to be 3 years that it's going to be Kate Hudson is, Margot Robbie is, girl boss movie about that lady. What's her name?
It's the daughter.
Something.
It's
the
Jim
Irsay daughter.
Yeah,
Irsay daughter.
Is,
Something.
The name of the movie is going to be. The name of the movie is going to be Miss Irsay. It's right there. The Miss Irsay movie.
Hey, how about this Hersey?
Hersey, whatever you want to call it.
It's
Hersey. Hersey. That they making that movie because her pops passed away, right? And she got the team.
Yeah.
Right. So that, and is she on there with the thing telling these motherfuckers what to do? They making that movie.
Man,
And when they won that game with the kick with the Broncos, I know we're going off to a different sport in the NFL, but when they won that game with the leverage play with the kick, like she had no one to high five. Like, you know,
Yeah.
she was like smiling and celebrating, and no one came up and high fived her. Someone go give her a high five.
Give
You
her
know
a
what I
high
mean?
five.
man, you know, this
She's
makes me
locked
think,
in.
man, is anybody, a Jenny Bus movie would be really interesting, right?
They
You know
just
what
They
I'm
got
did
the
saying?
show. They just,
They
yeah,
did- they
the
just
Kate
did.
Hudson. It literally was Kate Hudson.
They literally
Oh,
did.
wait, are
they
you
just-
serious? That was
Running
oh,
point. That's Jenny.
Running
That's Jenny
point.
Bus.
Yeah.
no,
That's Jenny
okay,
Bus. They
man.
just did it.
Damn. Okay.
Garrett
You
Nutt's
just
mine.
pitched a good
And
shot.
this
I had a
nigga
good
dropped the
idea.
fucking ball. What
I
the
had a
fuck
good
is
idea.
going on? I apologize for the N-word. LSU's receivers right now are just playing. Pick your head up and run back to the huddle. You drop the
That's
ball.
kind of
Oh,
how
did
you
y'all
know
see
that we're trending towards the end of a stream. It's like LSU starts the game and we
Did-
lose Van. We get half a Van. We
Did
lose
you
part of
see
the soul.
what happened in Indiana and Illinois? Indiana blocked a punt and scored, man, on Illinois here.
A lot of games happening right
Beamer
now,
ball.
guys. DJ Lagway looks terrible to start this game. I don't know what's going on.
Dog.
He must be
I gotta
hurt.
say something. I gotta say something about this. The
I like that's
Florida,
our default. They're hurt. You know what I mean?
the Florida fan base has given up on DJ Lagway. I'm watching these shows. I was watching the Florida post game show, pre-game show, watching about the game. Really good stuff. I would like to shout out some of these shows. I would like to shout out High Top Sports. I think that they do a great job. A lot of these people that I watch, man, I watch a lot of these different shows.
Mhm.
So it wasn't on High Top Sports, it was a different show.
Okay.
But I want to shout out to High Top Sports. I like the guy
Yeah.
that does High Top Sports. He's got a great production value and the whole nine. I like it. But they were asking, first of all, they want the backup, which is phenomenal that we're there already, right? And they asked, well, do you care whether or not firing
Napier, you have no-
Napier, firing Napier, do you care if that costs you DJ Lagway? They laughed. They were like, hell no, we don't care. Get him out. Like if he won't stay. Now last year, this was polar opposite. This was there's no way we could fire Napier because we're gonna lose DJ Lagway. Now it feels like they've seen enough to where it doesn't bother them, the thought, the prospect of losing Billy Napier and DJ Lagway in one fell swoop. They don't care anymore. It was super duper interesting to see the fan base.
But they're keeping it consistent because what did they love last year, Van? The backup quarterback.
Yeah.
Right.
DJ Lagway was the backup.
I mean,
Graham Mertz was the
I was
starter.
gonna say,
you know
if
what
you
I
had-
mean?
if you-
This is their thing. They like the backup.
If you were rolling out Graham Mertz and trying to convince people that was going to work, I kind of understand why you were already looking towards the sideline for DJ Lagway. Hey, DJ, man, if they don't want you there in Florida, TCU's going to have an opening next year, man. Josh
North
Hoover's going to
Carolina,
move
Bill
on.
Belichick.
You
Play for
know,
the greatest
So if
coach
you want to come back
ever.
to Texas, you can come back to Texas. You know, we'll take care of you up there. But yeah, man, but Van is right. The whole thing behind the Billy Napier thing was like, man, we can't get rid of Billy Napier because if he leaves, DJ Lagway is definitely gonna leave. But yeah, it looks like that hasn't worked out. It's just really interesting too because the Billy Napier thing really kind of got started with. You remember Jaden Rashada?
I do.
Yeah.
Jaden Rashada, who got man, I'm not even trying to cap on the kid because he's a kid and I want him to do well, but he got benched in Sacramento State recently.
Yeah.
So I was just like, man, it just seems like Billy Napier, he's hinged so much of his tenure there on these quarterbacks, and they just haven't worked out for him, man. Because I mean, Florida's got a defense. They've got talent around there, but it's just like he's not figured out the quarterback thing, which is the surprise here because they've invested so many resources into that position.
Yeah, they also have some good backs, decent running back. I mean, it's they have a running game they can lean on. They just need more for Lagway. There's all kinds of things that people are saying. They're saying that Lagway overate, that he's too heavy, that he's injured, that he's rusty. That I even saw something that said Lagway was partying with the softball team too much. I tried to do more on that, couldn't find it.
His girlfriend's on the softball team.
So his girlfriend's. So that's the thing. So his girlfriend's on the softball team. So I was on the message board doing my recon, and I saw. And
not to be blowing up his spot, but that's the connection. Yeah,
they made it seem like DJ was spending too much time with the softball team.
Man,
that's actually hilarious. Like accusation, like he's hanging out with the softball team too much.
These message boards are so funny. Can you imagine somebody seeing DJ Lagway at a party with the softball team? Do you know your playbook?
Yeah, I know, man. You can have your ass looking at some film.
What's your
Honestly,
body fat?
yeah,
What's
that's
your
possible.
body fat? Put down that White Claw. What's your body fat right now, DJ? But they are not happy right now. And so they got a ways to go as LSU struggles to run the ball against Southeastern School in Hammond. They have a ways to go before they're happy with their situation.
Look, man, Arizona State thought they were happy to get rid of Jay Daniels, man. They all gathered around his locker and took his stuff, and they were, clowning him and everything else. Sometimes you just got to go to another place and, get your groove back. So, yeah, I mean, if you all had to guess, but this time next year, DJ Lagway is not at Florida, right? Like I'd put the FanDuel.
There's a lot of season left.
Put a line on that.
There's a lot of season left.
A lot of season left. They're gonna get their ass beat in a lot of that season. Again, 4 of their next 5 games are against teams in the top 10.
Yeah. It's a lot of season left. I guess this is the question I would ask you. Let's say that Florida loses all of those games.
Yeah.
But the light comes on for DJ Lagway. And you see the promise and the talent out of DJ Lagway that people expected to see. He plays really well, but they just can't beat some of these teams. They don't have enough talent. What do you do if you're Florida then?
I'd pay to keep. I wouldn't let DJ Lagway go. I would get rid of Napier because I'd be like, all right, man, you've had enough. We've tried this. This is enough. You clearly are not the guy. I wouldn't let DJ Lagway go because I still think that there's talent there. We've seen enough. Like, yeah, and it could just be he's not surrounded. Maybe Napier's trying to meddle with the offense. Whatever. Like maybe he just needs a new voice in his ear and some more talent. Like and spend some more money to surround him. But yeah, I wouldn't let DJ Lagway go for nothing. Like, I don't even know. I mean, maybe Bryce, maybe JKS at Cal, but I don't even know who else I would want over him right now. Like if I had to, you're going into next year and this class goes on, I wouldn't take nobody over. I wouldn't take nobody over him.
Even still, you believe that much in his skill set.
Yeah, I just think that something is off. Sometimes people
we know what's off. He's with the softball team.
Yeah, I mean, boy.
Doubles and triples.
Man, you know what I'm saying?
We just figured it out. I mean, I think
he's been rounding too many bases, man.
The good news is good news for all the teams in the portal where his girlfriend doesn't play softball. They can be like, look, we get rid of this distraction. We get him up here. He plays for us. Comes to TCU, whatever it is. It all works itself out. Last thing before we get out of here, I wanted to bring this up. Wanted to bring up some of the Friday games that happen on the stream. Because sometimes they get lost in the shuffle. In case you missed it, Tulsa. They beat Mike Gundy, and Oklahoma State had to pay Tulsa $300,000 for that to happen. So this was not a good day for Gundy, not a good day for Oklahoma State. Gundy obviously had his spat earlier in the year with Lanning, so not a good year for Van Gundy right now. He went from Justin Bieber having him as a ringtone to now we don't know what the future looks like. Joel, you look, like you're hurting for him. What are your thoughts? Is this the beginning of the end of Van Gundy?
Oh, hell yeah. I mean, They don't even need to wait on that press release. They should have had that out by today, man. And the thing is, it's sad when this happens. Mike Gundy is probably, he's not a better coach than Jimmy Johnson, but he's the best coach that Oklahoma State has ever had, and that is the best at Oklahoma State. That is a very difficult job. I don't know if y'all ever been to Stillwater, Oklahoma. I have.
I've been to Anadarko, Oklahoma, man. I've been, yeah.
Wow, where is that? Damn.
There you go.
Anadarko.
Oh, yeah.
Anadarko, Oklahoma. They were rocking Anadarko, Oklahoma. They were rocking Sam Bradford jerseys and Malcolm Kelly. I was like, man, this is a cool. Man, they love Oklahoma football. Shout out to Anadarko.
What's the name of it?
Anadarko. Oklahoma.
Where is it?
Anadarko?
What is it?
Anadarko. Like Donnie Darko.
Like Donnie Darko.
I'll pull up some stuff on Anadarko. I'll share with you guys.
All right. Well, anyway, Anadarko, Oklahoma. I'm looking it up while I'm saying this. But yeah, man, I just eventually you run out of juice. And remember, we said he sounded broke earlier this year. Like he doesn't want to adjust to the reality of the game.
What's his buyout? He won't be broke.
I don't. Yeah, that'll be interesting. I actually don't know the buyout for Mike.
Honestly, Joel, if you knew Mike Gundy's buyout off the top of your head, that would actually be one of the sickest and twisted things.
I'm glad you did not. It's one of the things I should have been looking for, and I mentioned it. But yeah, no, what is? again, they'll get rid of Mike Gundy. I think it's over for him up there. Like that, you can't lose to Tulsa, man. I mean, like Tulsa, the smallest FBS program in the country. The smallest, yeah, that's right. I think it's the smallest.
Yeah,
it's the
yeah,
smallest
yeah.
university. That's right. Yeah, and I mean their median season is bad, and you lost to them at home. Um, it's just like it just can't go on like this. Like I mean, we're in a new paradigm for
They were
college
13
football.
point underdogs. Again,
Yeah.
Vegas, I mean, did not expect to see
That's not enough if you're
Right.
Oklahoma State. 13 points is not enough. And we're in a new paradigm now, man. Like things are changing in the next few years. And if you're not where you need to be, you're going to get left behind. We're getting here this from Kyle right here, our producer. $15 million buyout if fired before 2027. I don't know if Oklahoma State has
Good
that
Google,
much money.
Kyle. Good
So,
job.
Kyle,
I mean,
thank
so a couple of things about Mike Gundy. Number one, I would expect that he sees the writing on the wall. A lot of people up there in Stillwater see the writing on the wall. It still is a decision that you might see some hand wringing with
Mhm.
because the coach has been there forever. And Les Miles was there for him, and it is a place where they might not expect to dominate, but they expect to go out on Saturday and be entertained. They've had a lot of great players come through there. They've had a lot of great times, a lot of great wins. Even the Mike Gundy era that we're talking about right now.
Brandon Whedon, man.
Brandon Whedon.
Brandon Whedon,
Like Josh Fields.
Yeah.
Good players.
Even the
Justin
Mike
Blackman
Gundy,
should have been the first name.
the Mike Gundy era that we're talking about right now. It 4 years ago, 1 yard away from the college football playoff.
Mhm.
Right. So the fall from grace has been very, very fast for them to get to this point. I think if they were mediocre, that would be one thing. But for them to get to this point, it's probably very difficult, and a lot of difficult decisions have to be made there. But I say all this to say, it won't be an easy decision to get rid of Mike Gundy. It won't.
It's hard to fire a legend. Like usually, you try to give them their time, like you give them their chance to say goodbye or whatever, but also you're like, all right, you got to leave. How do we want to do this? It's tough.
And there's no guarantee that you're going to get anybody that is going to not a great job. Like you're like a lot of proximity to talent. You're not in a league.
I mean, it's no
4
Maryland.
or 5 stars are going to be.
Yeah.
That's definitely no Maryland. Definitely no Maryland. Not even the DMV. We got all this talent out here. So yeah, man.
Disgusted.
Yeah, it's again.
I don't launch the show,
bro. Come to Maryland. Let's go to a Terps game.
Come to Maryland.
Come to Maryland.
That sounds like Mike Gundy's opening press conference at Maryland.
Duke football.
Marion, Sean Hill, Dominique would be down to show us around. I know he would. So
I love it.
Come on, let's
We're
go.
We're in.
Oh, before we go,
please.
For all the conversation that we've had about DJ Lagway, I am flipping around, looking at different games.
Mm-hmm.
South Carolina's at Missouri tonight.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Columbia.
This is a pretty important showing for one Lenore Sellers, who
Coming off a concussion, right?
off a concussion. But more than that, not more than that, his health is the most important thing. But
No, you said
Less
it. You
than
said
that.
it. You said it.
I'm just being for real.
That's what they said too.
There are NFL scouts everywhere that look at Lenore Sellers as their golden goose. That's the guy. That's the guy that has the ridiculously strong arm, the legs, all of that stuff. That's their Josh Allen. And up to this point, you haven't really seen it. And you're wondering when the light's going to come on for him and when he's going to start living up to some of the promise that people expected for him. And, it would be great if it started tonight for him.
I like that call. I was going to ask you like a parting shot on the way out. Like if you
Mizzou
want to call
football.
a shot, you know what I mean?
Mizzou football,
But I
that's
like that.
Mizzou, South Carolina football too. I mean, is that much better than Maryland?
I mean, they got Lenore Sellers. But they got Lenore Sellers. Shout out to Maryland, though. I'm not trying to hate, man. Shout out to Maryland, man. Shout out to Juan Dixon. Shout out to Steve Blake. We talked about him, man. Shout out to Maryland. I'm not trying to hate him.
Gary Williams,
Lonnie Baxter, Terrence Moore,
Chris Wilcox, man.
There you go.
That's right.
Shout out to all of the Maryland Terps out there, man. Stone Diamond. What was his name? Diamond Stone.
Diamond Stone, but Stone Diamond might have been a better player. Honestly, that's a better name. Stone Diamond. That's solid.
You know who's one of the best players, huh? Skin Diamond. Okay.
I
That
don't know who
was
that
one-
is. I'm
Yeah, that was one of the best
That
players.
is.
I promised my family I wouldn't do it again. I apologize. I'm not bringing.
Yeah, I
it
don't
up.
know who that is.
Yeah. I don't know who that is. Never heard of her. Never.
Just trying to get
never-
Joel in trouble on the way out. Ringer Tailgate, we appreciate everybody tuning in. We will be back on Wednesday. We'll have more of the, hard pressing topics that we're going to hit. But we appreciate everybody hanging out with us, watching the games. Everybody enjoy the last, slate of games. Obviously some big ones. And go hang out with Todd McShay and Minch as they break down what's happening late night here on our Ringer YouTube channels. And Van has pulled the bat out, so he's going after everybody. Joel, Van, we appreciate everybody tuning in, and we'll see you guys on Wednesday. 21 or older in present and select states for Kansas in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino, or 18 and older and present in D.C., Kentucky, or Wyoming. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit FanDuel.com/RG. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts, or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text